Hi, good morning. How are you? This is Andrew again. I'm so happy to get everybody together, seeing people from Hawaii, Philippines, from Hong Kong, Los Angeles, Vancouver. So quite a few new group here. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for attending the webinar. 各位朋友，多謝晒你係大家喺呢度又再見面啦，學下多啲點解我哋現在係重要咧，係保護個心臟。嗱，上一次咧，我哋講咗咧 triglyceride 點解係咁重要啦。咁依家今日就講點解對心臟重要，呢個係好緊要㗎 actually. Now, let me share with you why we talk about heart and why that is so important. You know, heart is the most important organ in your body, okay? Now, if your heart stop, you stop basically, and you really want to do whatever you do. Protect your heart, right? So that is one of the skill set you have to continue to do and make sure you are able to protect your heart no matter what, okay? Keep that in mind. 嗱，心臟咧，學你話齋係最重要嘅，成個身體最重要嘅地方係保護身體，就係個心臟。如果心臟停頓咗咧，你乜都停晒 ，OK？ 所以唔可以缺乏點樣去減低你個保護個心臟。其實所有嘅最大器官，就算所有器官你都要保護嘅話，第一個器官最重要就係心臟。Okay? So really, at the end of the day, the most important organ in the entire body to protect is first is your heart, because heart is your engine. Without the engine, no work. Your engine fell down and with the game. Okay? So that is why I'm talking about how to protect your heart, okay? Given that, I want to give some time, just 5 minutes to update all the new people coming, because a lot of people come from Philippines, come from different places. I want to make sure they will able to catch up. 嗱，我寫幾分鐘咧，可以講及我哋嗰啲朋友係新嚟嗰啲，咁佢知道咧，我哋今日講嘅 subject 係咩嘢啊？ So important to know that you know, diabetic, you never get well. It's a lifelong disease. You have to continue to manage and control. If you don't do that, you know what? It's not going to work. I have a lot of customers brought the A1C to 5.7, and you know what? They stop doing the exercise, stop doing the diet. They don't drink Lowsutea. Boom, month and a half, they come right back to where they are. You have to really continue to control. Now, how do you control? You have to go for diet. Pre-diabetic patient is the same thing. Diabetic patient is the same thing. So what they do, they have to control the diet, they have to exercise, they have to control the weight, they have to measure the blood sugar so they know where they are at. And also they have to know all the entire program, what to do to ensure the blood sugar don't go up. So with that, you also need to drink Lowsutea. If you don't drink Lowsutea, that will not bring you down. By the way, a lot of people just try diet, but it won't work because it's not having the booster of the insulin booster, and also the dump sugar and cholesterol out of the urine. So really, you have to do that. So you cannot in diet, you cannot eat white powder, which is like rice, bread. Don't drink soda. All that will be the same. So keep that in mind. Secondly, how diabetic work? Basically, one, your blood sugar go up and your cholesterol LDL go up. So that's the first stage. When that mix up together, they will form plaque to all the vessels, and it's involved your entire body, by the way. So you're going to form plaque, your blood pressure is going to go up because all these plaque will blocking your blood sugar. That's why it will affect your heart. Now, also the cholesterol, LDL, and the sugar, when it gets thick, is all damage your B cells. So make a B cell does work. So you increase insulin resistance. Net result of that, eventually you got to have pre-diabetic, which your A1C will go from 5.7 to 6.4. If you don't do anything, don't change lifestyle, you know what? Eventually you have your diabetes form in 3 years. 3 years. Research showed that 3 years, most people converted. That is the reason why many people actually is really sad seeing them. The diabetic population grew very fast. Now, Lowsutea, why it works? Because one, we have this thing called guava leaves that block sugar into the cells. Bitter act like an insulin, take the sugar into the cells. Guava leaf block sugar into the vessels. Bitter as insulin going to the cells. And also one more very unique item is they also dump sugar, cholesterol, sodium out through urine. So net result that people drink Lowsutea, they get detox. They also get rid of the swelling of the ankle. And also all the sugars are much more lower. That's why they can able to do that. Now, if you don't do anything, what will happen to you? It might not happen right now, but it will happen in the future. In about 3-5 years, that will happen. You have a high chance of stroke. Your eyes become blurry. You get glaucoma. Your pancreas will become affected. The insulin doesn't come out, or you even come out. You have a lot of insulin resistance, so your insulin doesn't work. You affect your heart. That is the major thing. Is most people will happen in diabetes. And I would like to talk more today why you need to protect that. Nerve damage severely will affect your main brain. Matter of fact, the third, there are a lot of times the type 3 diabetic now is Alzheimer's disease. That's what they think. And also blood pressure goes up. Remember, this affects your entire body blood vessels. And if you get injured or lower extremity, the circulation bad poor, you might get your foot cut off, and then affect your kidney, you need end up dialysis. 30% of people who are diabetic have no sex. That sex develops because they have no feel. So really sad, okay? So 記住啦，我哋依家如果你變咗糖尿病者咧，呢啲情況咧，全部會發生嘅。就所以其實咧，今日我講咧，點解要講心臟嗰度咧係好重要，因為呢個咧影響到心臟。如果唔係咧，仲有另外一個咧就係腎啦，咁以後好多要洗腎啦。血壓高係好 common 啦，同埋你仲有咧係神經損毀啦，30% 冇咗性功能啦。咁呢啲咧同埋中風亦都好 popular 嘅。咁呢啲咧就係所有講嘅，我點解要控制你血糖啦 ？OK。And our company, what we're trying to do is really help you whereby you can lower your blood sugar who are pre-diabetic patient, will postpone your diabetic conversion. You know, where if your blood sugar A1C is from 6.4 to 5.7, then you never become a diabetic. So you will be very good, continue healthy, very good. Your heart will not be damaged. Your vessels will be really good. If you are already diabetic patient, we delay your diabetic complications. So just now, the last slide, you show you all the symptoms are no longer there. So we can able to continue to be maintain you healthy. People, a lot of them are patients right now who A1C was 10%. They are dropping down to 5.7. And a lot of them are having that. So they are very, very good. Excuse me a second. Because they have dropped down to 5.7. So they can be really pretty much healthy with their body, and it will not damage their heart. So that will be super, super good. So they will be healthy, continue blood sugar level with a 5.7 A1C become. Look, that's the goal. Your A1C should not be 7. A lot of people thought, it's good. My A1C was 7. It's 5.7 is the target. And to help you out, we have 5 programs. We have Lowsutea, you're drinking. We have low diet carbon diet for help you out, low fat. We show you how to do this with exercise program, with weight control, and also we have Dr. Webinar, which you and our professional webinar, which you also every week Saturday you will see that teach you how to blood tracking. So lot to learn. Tell you because diabetes is a long life disease, so there's a lot to learn. 嗱，各位堂友，我哋公司咧其實唔係想買啲血糖茶俾你，其實最重要咧係幫助你咧降低你血糖。如果你係前期患病者咧，我哋希望咧能夠令到你唔會變咗糖尿病，學咗好多嘢飲血糖茶啦、diet control 啦，幫助你由你 A1C 咧6.4前去翻5.7。咁仲有咧其他人咧，如果佢真係已經係糖尿病者咧，就唔會變 A1C 咧。如果10以上啊，變翻5.7，咁你變咗一個好好咧一樣。但係咧都繼續控制，糖尿唔會好嘅。咁佢所有如果你係去到6以下咧。你其實你所有嗰啲所謂叫 diabetic complication 咧，即係糖尿病嘅後患症咧，已經係冇咗喺度嘅，即係唔會會降低你 risk 發生啦。咁同埋咧，仲有你繼續控制血糖啦、exercise 啦、weight control 啦、聽個 webinar 啦，所以變咗你個健康嘅水平係一個健康血糖嘅水平係好重要嘅。呢個就係我哋同你哋一齊合作嘅願望，揸住你嘅手 all the way through 你所有嘅生活習慣啊，其他。同埋咧點樣能夠你即係繼續有啲糖低 ？So really, our objective and mission is holding your hand basically throughout your diabetic journey. Hopefully, with that, you can be able to achieve healthy blood sugar level, drop down A1C below 5.7, and we have a lot of customers actually able to achieve that, and you can achieve that too. So let's try to do it together, and you'll be continue to be healthy. So let's talk about today's subject: why pre-diabetic patient and diabetic. You need to protect your heart with lifestyle changes, and we have 9 of that you have to do. And it's very easy to do it. It's not hard. It is action achievable. It's up to you willing to take the sort of the objective to do it. It's simple. First of all, as you know, pre-diabetic and diabetes, you got to realize heart is the most important organ in your body, okay? So everybody has to protect the heart, no matter what they are, you know, even though they are not pre-diabetic, diabetic patients, they still have to protect the heart because that is the major organ. And the heart, if you are pre-diabetic, diabetes, both man and woman, that is the most leading cause of death for diabetes, okay? So it's not really that because they will die of other things, but the most important people who die for pre-diabetic or diabetic are heart, and healthy heart is always actually is our control. We can do it, okay, with the right lifestyle. And you can change with, you know, the lifestyle, then you decrease the risk of heart disease and getting all, you know, you can too many bird with one stone is because if your heart is good, your vessels are blocked, I can guarantee you you'll be healthy. So today the webinar is to help you to understand all that. 嗱，各位朋友講咗係心臟係最重要嘅，只係你咧能夠可能夠保護個心，係咪？咁其實前期患病、後期患病者咧都要保護個自己嘅心臟啊。如果你唔係保護心臟咧，其實咧最多前期患病或者糖尿病者個男人女人冇分別嘅，好多咧就係因為佢個控制個血糖唔好咧，變咗serious 嘅糖尿病，咁佢哋死嘅亡咧。就係喺心臟病裏邊死咗嘅。咁同埋咧，如果你係控制到好嘅血糖，同埋你轉到你個生活習慣咧，你心臟好咧，你全部身體都健康嘅。I can guarantee you， 因為你血管唔會塞啊嘛，所以樣都 OK。咁你咧就一個係好降低晒你嘅風險，你亦都有一個好嘅生活。哇，幾正仔啊！ So it's so important, really need to get your heart to be healthy. And if your heart is healthy, you will be healthy, okay? So how are you going to keep your heart healthy? Now, today, the lecture will give you all that step. But the first step is you have to continue to move, to exercise. The exercise not necessarily just to do walking, but you can do dancing. You can do all kind of exercise. I tell you that. If you don't become a couch potato, because if you just watch 2 hours every day do couch potato, you actually increase 50% the risk of getting heart disease. And that is a Harvard study, basically. It's a real, you don't move, you just sit there. And I tell you, I'm a classmate in Hawaii. I went to their house. Their house is full of things, I can tell you that. And there was only a little path to go to this chair, and a chair is in front of TV. And this gentleman is 70 or 80 years old, and he hardly moves because all he does is when he wake up, he walk to the chair and will sit down and watch you. It doesn't move at all. The health-wise is extremely sad because he is not doing well. And on top of that, he doesn't move much. He doesn't really go around cooking. Now, that's the result that these people basically, if they do that, the risk of them a heart attack, overweight, all kind of poor health, it does come. And exactly that's what happens. So you gotta continue to move. You can do yard work, you can do walking, you can do anything. Just continue moving, walking in our neighborhood every after dinner, 1 hour a day is great. And if you're Hong Kong, is that too hot? No problem. Walk shopping mall. It's the same thing. So I had suggest a lot of people walk shopping mall, and they did it, and they love it. And that is really key that you have to continue to do, right? And on top of that, you have to make time. You have to plan for it. A lot of people say, well, I just sit down and watch TV. Now, if every day you have a habit to make time to do a little bit of exercise, you know, go walk after dinner. Now, not to do before dinner. There's a reason. Because you're pre-diabetic, diabetic, you walk before dinner, you actually need to burn more sugar, and your body say, wow, I better pump more sugar out. So I will pump it from your liver, I come up from your muscle, fat, everything come up with more sugars to compensate your exercise. Now, that's not a good idea. But after dinner is good because you have excess sugar. Now you can burn some of those. You can relax. After you can do exercise, relax your gut also. Walk with your wife, your husband, doesn't matter, or your dogs, okay? But you can walk, and you do that, man. your blood sugar go down, you will be very good. And basically, at least if every day you do 30-minute exercise, you will be able to also lose weight. Isn't that great? Losing weight, improve your blood sugar level, decrease your blood pressure, boost your circulation, and all kind of health benefits come with it. Wow, man, that is really good. And on top of that, you can actually walk with friends, walk with your neighbor, walk with dog, walk with wife, build relationship. Isn't that great? So do it, man. Really good. Keep up your exercise. Keep moving. Okay. 嗱，各位朋友，好重要咧，真係如果你第一步一定要做咧運動。嗱，其實運動咧唔係話要打籃球啊，行得噶啦。其實咧仲有做任何嘢都得嘅，去跳下舞都得嘅。嗱，你知係香港咧好多依家咧。YouTube 啊，有教你 TikTok 啊，教你啲跳舞，哇 good 啊，用嗰啲 OK 㗎。嗱，千祈唔好坐喺度兩個都睇電視。如果兩個都係睇電視咧 ，guess what？ 你有15%咧有 heart disease， 因為你坐喺度唔喐啊。OK， 咁你繼續喐 ，walk 又得，行公司又得，行半個鐘頭1個鐘頭，最好行到1個鐘頭啦。嗱，香港係好熱，唔緊要，行 shopping mall 1個鐘頭，食完飯先行喎，唔係食飯前行喎，食完飯先行。咁亦都可能夠，如果你每日做30分鐘嘅啫，咁你就可以能夠降低磅數啦，降低降低你血糖啦，降低你血壓啦，亦都能夠 increase 咗個 circulation 啦，即係血液循環啦，哇，成身都好嘅，所以繼續做呢樣嘢，同埋仲有，如果你係同朋友行下街，可以傾下偈，哇 ，build friendship 嘅，或者同隻狗傾偈都 OK 啦，係咪 ？So 繼續喐 ，OK？ 嗱 ，the second thing。Really, a lot of people don't realize your stress is going to hurt your heart. Okay. So really, if you continue to increase stress, you'll get more heart disease. In other words, your heart is, oh, should I really worry, man? Oh, no. All these things will actually increase your blood sugar because stress, the body says, hey, I need sugar to ready to fight. So you really have to relax. Don't stress because you stress your blood sugar. You have it's more difficult to control psychologically. You worry, you hurt your heart will come faster, pump faster to make sure you're ready for your stress work. And so if you stress, you have to go do some exercise, walk, decrease the stress. That will help you improve your health. Another thing is when you stress, if you stress, your body is actually will pump up more sugar. So if you don't stress, you do exercise, your body will actually come out a thing called endorphin. It's a hormone to make you feel good. So you will able to do better of that. And so exercise is really good for you. Now, another one you can do is maybe meditations, help you to meditation to decrease stress. Some people even go to psychotherapy. So if you lower your stress, you decrease 50% of the chance of heart attack or stroke. So always be positive. The world will never end, and you will be helpful. You can do it. Okay. Now, one of the things that people are telling me, and this is a Christian friend, he said, when I stress, you know what? She prayed, and she said, God had talked to me, and I have total relax after it. And I tried that, man. I tell you, it's good because really, if you are Christian, it doesn't matter. You want to talk to Buddha, it's okay too. But really, at the end of the day, if you can have some kind of belief to tell you God is on your side, you will feel better. And I think so, I myself too. If I really have difficulty, I talk to God, and God is going to help me out. So remember that as another alternative, okay? 嗱，各位朋友，好重要咧，要減低壓力，因為唔係減低壓力嘅時候咧，你咧有 stress 咧係多數咧能夠令到你咧係個心臟病咧係高咗風險嘅。如果你係有 stress， 第一有咩啊？血糖高噏啦，第二咧你血壓高噏啦，第三咧你要難控制咧你嘅血糖同埋你嘅血壓啦，咁係 damage 你個 heart 嘅。所以其實咧仲有一樣嘢咧要繼續咧做多 exercise。Sorry。Today I have some allergy. Sorry about that. I don't have a cold. I just have allergy today. Okay. 嗱 ，exercise 咧點解會好咧？ 因為 exercise 咧 decrease 個 stress 啦，improve 你個 heart 啦，同埋呢個exercise 咧，如果你做咗多 exercise 咧，其實咧你亦都 decrease 咗少啲機會咧有 heart attack 嘅。咁所以因為點解咧 exercise 咧嘅時候咧就俾啲好嘅荷爾蒙出嚟咧，令到你身體更加健康快樂。同埋好多時咧你做 meditation 咧，即係話我係做啲去瑜伽啊嗰啲咧，係會有幫助你咧係降低stress。咁如果你有呢樣做到咧，降低差唔多50%咧，有個機會有 heart attack or stroke。OK，so stress decrease is so important because it decreases the chance of heart attack. When you stress, it decreases your blood pressure, so your heart doesn't go palpitation, boom, boom, boom. All that is going to be bad for you. So decrease stress is important. Now, really at the end of the day, talk to God, pray is also very important. Now, another thing is so important is maintain your healthy weight, okay? I was in Wisconsin just a month ago. I saw a lot of people with big tummy coming up. Now, really, they are maybe 280 pounds, maybe. And all these people are obese. And that is really a high risk of heart disease. No matter what, if they're healthy or not, that risk is there. Because you know why? All the fats, all stress the heart. They are not that big. They're 5'11", just like about my size, but they are big. They're 80 pounds maybe. And people who have that, they also have high chance of high blood sugar, diabetic, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. All that usually come along with the big obesity guy, okay? And it is a very typical sign. And you look at their feet, you notice their feet are also swelled up. That means they have not very good sort of the so-called the circulation, because legs are swelled, their bodies are big, and they're overweight, and all that will lead to actually all the excess fat will lead to a very poor health with circulation. So if there are a lot of body fat, the body will also affect the insulin production and also resistance. So that result, they actually need more insulin to do everything, okay? So you gotta lower the weight. Now keep that in mind. If you lower the weight, just 10%, you lower 1 point A1C. In other words, your A1C is 9, now your A1C will be 8, okay? So very important, you can lower that weight. And if you lower the weight, you lower your blood pressure, you lower your cholesterol, you lower your triglyceride, everything will be lower at the same time. So that result, you're much healthier. Important, your BMI for men should be at least 25 BMI, 25 BMI. And we talked about BMI earlier already. So if you are over 280 pounds, your BMI must be 30 and plus, okay? So that is not good. You have to continue to drive to a BMI lower. I myself had the same issue earlier. When my pound was 225 pounds, my BMI was over 30 plus. Now I bring it down to 27. I still have some more to go. I have to put it at 25. I tell you, it takes effort. But it took about 2-3 years to actually move down that much. But if you continue to do it, you are much healthier. Your A1C will go down. Believe me, it works. Okay? 嗱，各位朋友，你一定要控制咧血糖啦，亦都要控制你個重磅啦，係咪？嗱，點控制佢重磅啊？其實咧，如果你係肥胖咧，就好大問題嘅，因為見到好多人咧，如果肥胖咧，嗱香港未必唔係咁多，但係亦都有好多人係真係繼續肥胖。咁肥胖咧就有 diabetes 嘅問題啦，血壓糖高啦，尿酸高啦，呢個膽固醇高啦 ，blood pressure 高啦，血壓高啦，全部都會高嘅。三脂油脂又高啦 ，OK， 哇，好朋友樣樣都高啊，點算啊？當你樣樣高嘅時候咧，你心臟病發作咧係高好多嘅，因為咧所有啲肥咧係令到你個血管咧唔順暢啊，同埋咧個胰島素係塞啦，或者有抗拒啦。咁其實咧，如果你降低你嘅磅數啊1% 10% 唔係11% 10% 咧，你 A1C 已經係跌咗係1個 point。 10% 嘅磅數，即係話如果我係220磅，我啲200磅，我已經係能夠降低1個 point A1C。我如果係 A1C 係7，我去到6，或者係8去7嘅。OK， 所以 it's a very important thing to do. Excuse me, sorry about that. So important, lower your lower your weight so you can continue lower your A1C, lower your blood pressure, lower your cholesterol, lower triglyceride. Man, you'll be so much healthier, right? So continue to do that, please, because that will be helping you to become a much better health. Okay. Now we have talked about it. You really can't smoke because smoking increases your blood sugar, increase your blood pressure, and also increase the chances of more diabetic complications. And when you smoke, you get what? Lung cancer. In Hong Kong, it's still considered the highest person who get lung cancer are what? Smoker. So, and if you are smoking, your whole lung become black. On top of that, smoke besides lung cancer also increase what? Chance of a stroke. Matter of fact, our previous neighbor who worked nearby, the person has smoked about 20-some years or 30 years. He's only about 67 years old. Guess what? Lung cancer. And he doesn't know either until you find out how about breathing difficulty, and he was on stage 4. No sign symptom, okay? So smoking, you really gotta stop. And also, a lot of people already know, supposedly, smoking increases the risk of heart attack, damage on a muscle wall, build plaque, heart in your artery. And so really simple solution, stop smoking. And you if you stop smoking, you actually decrease stress to your lung, because when you smoke go in, you blacken your lung, and you decrease your chances get heart attack. Okay, your heart and lung are both stressed when you smoke. Okay, so stop smoking. You'll be good and you'll be much healthier, guaranteed. Okay， 嗱，各位朋友，如果你唔食煙咧，其實對你係好大幫助。第一啦，你唔食煙咧，你降低咗血壓啦，降低血糖啦。如果你係食煙咧，其實對你個糖尿病嘅後患症係高啲嘅。咁同埋咧，食煙咧有咩啊？癌症、肺癌啦、心臟病啦、中風啦，呢啲全部加埋一齊。因為點解？食煙咧係 damage 你嘅血管啊，咁同埋咧你 build up 好多 plaque 同埋個血管硬化，咁變咗嚟講嘅時候咧，你心臟會發作啦，同埋會 stress 你個 lung 啦。食煙嘅人咧個肺啊全部黑色嘅 ，I can tell you because I saw it myself， so 全部黑色嘅 ，so 一定係第一樣減咗食煙，咁你身體一定健康好多。So people stop smoking. You can really got a much better health and better health for your heart, okay? So stop smoking if you can. And if you cannot, try to get some organization to help you stop smoking. There's a lot of organization in public to help you to stop smoking. Excuse me. Okay. Now, one more thing that is so important, heart, blood pressure are highly related. The heart and blood pressure. The reason is, excuse me a moment. The reason is because when you have high blood pressure, that's mean the heart will pump bigger, boom, boom, boom. And you take the heart overwork and pump more. So you end up, your heart will continue overstressed. That's why if you're diabetic or you're pre-diabetic or you're already diabetic, the doctor always want to measure your blood pressure, make sure it doesn't go up to over 140. And that is so important. Actually, you have to keep your blood pressure 130 and 80. Your systolic blood pressure is the pressure that you pump up, boom, the first one. And that's 130. And then the remaining pressure in the vessel is 80. That's diastolic. So basically, that is the two blood pressure, the pressure going up and pressure remaining in the vessel. So if your blood pressure is higher than 140, wow, you gotta control, because you get higher, the chances to get stroke is high, and also heart attack. If your blood pressure continue high, the vessel, like this is not 80 anymore, 90 and above, boy, you are better get your doctor to get you lower. That's means your heart, your vessels are continue high pressure is hardened. So blood pressure can be continue damage your heart, your arteries, and everything, the whole body, because this whole blood vessel. So important. You have to control good blood pressure, and you have to create that way. If blood pressure doesn't get so high from scar, and that result it will traffic the plaques and blood clot. The result you have heart attack and disease. A lot of times the clot come off, you make trouble. So you gotta often, if you have high blood pressure, you have to check at least once a day, at nighttime, or twice a day. Sorry, you have to do it morning time. What does it look like? In the nighttime before you sleep, what it look like? You have to keep checking. And then if you are really has going up more than this, like 140 or over 90, you have to check with doctor, because you might need medication to continue press it down. So, and the medication got to be adjusted accordingly. Okay, but on the other hand, besides medication, importantly, if you can exercise, blood pressure will go down. And actually, my blood pressure was going down. I still actually take medication too, but it went down 125, 120 now, because I exercise, I diet, I lower my weight. Oh, my blood pressure go down, and that is very helpful. I do not sensitive to blood pressure until the day I measure. I say, wow, I'm 140 something, you know. So you need to find out, do you measure? A lot of people don't even know they have to measure to find out too. So you really need to measure, and I think there's a lot of free measurement now in CVS or in a lot of the pharma drugstore company give you a free blood pressure test. So do it. Just stick arm in there, take a look. Is it good blood pressure? You go to a public clinic, they also have that free test. So do measure your blood pressure and check all the time and see where is that. 嗱，各位同友，保持身體嘅血壓係好緊要嘅。點解咧？如果你上壓係130 OK， 如果你上壓係140 not OK。原因咧就係個 heart bomb 出嚟，嗰個係140或130，雪上去高咧，你個 chance 個 heart attack 同埋咧係呢個中風咧係好高嘅。如果你180中風係10分高，因為如果你再高曲咁就去200幾爆燈啦，腦爆燈 ，OK， 或者心臟病爆發。底下下壓如果80度，就係話你個 remaining blood pressure， 你嘅血管成日都係80度。但係如果高過咧，亦都係同樣嘅問題。所以呢個80咧唔可以高過90。如果係全部高過呢啲咧，一定要食藥或者去睇醫生開始。因為咧，如果唔係嘅話咧，你 blood pressure 計係咩啊 ？damage 你所有血管啊，所有嘅 organ 啊，所有嘅心臟啊，因為呢個全身都係咁喎，係咪？腦啦。同埋仲有，如果你高血壓嘅時候咧，你開始 damage 咧，個血管有 scar， 有嗰啲即係所謂裂痕啦。咁裂痕咧就會 form 咗 plaque， 整硬咗血管咧。咁你 form 咗 plaque 嘅時候，你 form dislodge 亦都會到你個心臟病有問題啦，或者有嗰個塞咗之後咧，你心臟發作啦，佢塞咗條血管啦，個心就停啦。咁呢啲咧全部咧係喺個 high blood pressure 高血壓嗰度做出嚟嘅。所以你一定要咧，如果你真係高血壓就要去話俾醫生聽，去食藥。嗱，其實好多時咧，依家好多地方都有血壓計俾你去 check 嘅，繼續每日 check 一次，同埋每晚就 check 一次，睇下你點樣，或者自己買個機翻嚟 check 都好啦，好方便。OK，so do measure your blood pressure every day and check where is that, because with that you can actually become a much understand your blood pressure. Oh, by the way, you have to write it down. Don't just measure and forget it. Write it down, track it, so you know from then on, you always know what is the average blood pressure to help you out to maintain your better health, okay? Now, number 6, to help you have better heart now, you have to have healthy diet, okay? Healthy diet meaning that you need to get rid of the saturated fat, processed meat, In other words, you really cannot go over to eat a lot of McDonald's, a lot of dessert like cookie, cake, candy, sugar stuff. All those will not be good for your heart, okay? Because when you eat all these fatty food, adding cholesterol, not fiber, they are not truly nutrition for you. You need to add more nutritional food with low calories, so you don't fall plaque of, in the vessel fall. So you really, if you have more sugar, more fat, you fall plaque, you actually resulted more blood vessel blockage. Net result of that, the more blockage you have, the more chance you get a heart attack. So you got to get rid of that. And you have to eat more fish, because like salmon, tuna have a thing called omega-3. And this fish, omega-3, will actually help you to not get fall plaque on your vessels, okay? So another diet, a lot of people that talk about is Mediterranean diet, which means you have more fish, more whole grain, more fruits, more not super rich foods, but fiber fruit. You eat more vegetable, you eat olive oil, you eat chicken without skin. So that will be so healthy for you, like here, this salmon, that you don't form all these plaque on your vessel. If you eat a lot of red meat, actually all the fatty food, actually that will increase your bad cholesterol, like LDL, that will form all around your plaque, which will be not good for your heart. So a lot of people don't realize McDonald's is good once in a while, but you eat it every day. Man, that is really not good for your health. And actually that is potentially damage your heart. So think about that. Good to go seafood with omega-3, salmon, fish, not a lot of fried food with all these beans and whole grain, skin and chicken, good for you. So do remember that. 嗱，各位朋友，最緊要咧，其實咧唔可以食啲好高含有脂肪嘅食物。譬如好似成日去麥當勞咧食啲炸薯條啊，嗰啲全部唔正仔嘅，同埋食好多 hamburger 亦都唔正仔嘅，或者去食好多餅食啊，亦都唔正仔，糖啊全部唔正仔嘅。你食嗰啲嘢咧係其實加咗膽固醇高，又冇 fiber， 又冇即係有啲 nutrition 就唔係好高 nutrition， 同埋 high calorie， 同埋食咗呢啲咧仲有好多 LDL 高嘅壞膽固醇俾你自己。咁你變咗咧睇個血管咧就全部塞住晒，哇！咁唔正仔喎，因為咁樣之後咧，會增加你所有嘅 heart attack 嘅情況，哇！係咪好咧？咁其實食嘢咧就好重要，食多啲魚啦。其實食咩魚都得嘅，嗱最好就食下三文魚啦，或者 tuna 魚啦。香港又好就食鯇魚啦 ，OK 嘅冇問題㗎，因為魚咧多數有咩omega-3啊。咁其實咧仲有一個咧就係地中海嘅食物嘅食譜啦。咁其實佢食好多咩啊？食好多nuts 啦，食好多腰果啊，譬如 almond 啊嗰啲東西啦，食好多 whole grain 嘅全麥嘅東西啦，亦都食嗰啲叫kidney beans 啦，一個紅黑色嘅 kidney bean 啦。咁亦都食好多魚啦、橄欖油啦，食雞又唔食皮啦。嗱，呢啲係全部好嘢嚟嘅，因為呢啲冇加 extra fat 俾你啊。所以咧，呢個咧係一個最好嘅食物咧，係令到你咧降低你個膽固醇啦，降低你嘅卡路里啦，降低嘅糖啦 ，end up 咧就咩啊？我哋搞低去塞你血管啦，咁你個心臟病咧就會少啲啦。OK， so diet is really an important thing. Don't think that I eat a hot dog, everything is good because those are processed food. There's a lot of cholesterol in there, LDL, bad cholesterol added on. So keep that in mind, not to go there, okay? Suddenly, a lot of people ask, well, I drink a little bit red wine every day, only 1 or 2 glasses, should be okay, right? Because it says good for you. Well, yes and no. Small amount of red wine, no problem, because red wine actually have a little bit antioxidant to help you out, and which could be helpful. But don't forget, red wine is made by what? Grapes. Grape is a lot of fat, not a lot of sugar, and the sugar will actually create a thing to really make you become one more item, it will be bad for you, is increase your plaques, increase your blood sugar, and that's not good. I have a client every day at 10 o'clock, her blood sugar goes up, very high, go up to 180, 200. And I said, hey, how come you every night go up blood sugar? Every night before she go to sleep, she drank half a bottle of red wine. And that bring it up to about 180, 200, 240, 210, all range. So I said, you got to stop this, because if not, the whole night your blood sugar is 220. In a 10 year, 5, 6 years from now, you'll kill yourself, basically. So once you stop drinking red wine, blood sugar went down to about 140, and then drink some more Lowsutea, went down to 120. Tremendous improvement. You imagine you are 240 all the way 120. Isn't that great? And in Hong Kong, it's like, 12, 15, 16, all the way down to, 6. Isn't that wonderful? I think you really have to look at that. The red wine, because of the grape, it really increased the blood sugar. Although it said it doesn't look sweet, but because it made by grape, blood sugar will be increased. Okay, so you can't really drink a lot of wine. Maybe half a glass is already too much, plenty. So drink a little bit. Also, alcohol does affect your diabetic medication. That's why you do not drink alcohol and eat your diabetic medication. That's no good. It affects your blood sugar, and it does jack it up, and you don't want to do that. So really decrease your alcohol intake, especially mixed alcohol drink. It will affect your blood sugar level. And also, instead of drinking alcohol, maybe drink Lowsutea will help you out. So think about that. So keep in mind, alcohol will increase your blood sugar, definitely, okay? Especially some of the cocktail drink with alcohol, some fruit juice or whatever, make it sweet, man, that's even worse, okay? So important to help you to prevent your heart disease, limit alcohol intake. 嗱，各位堂友，其實咧好多人都唔知道咧，飲酒咧其實會係整高你血糖嘅，同埋咧飲得酒多咧，其實咧你係真係會咧令到你嘅心臟咧麻麻地嘅，因為咧佢整高血糖嘅時候有好多 form 嗰啲 plaque 啊喺個血管裏邊。我有個堂友咧，每晚咧佢朝頭瞓覺嘅前咧，佢飲半支嘅紅酒，半支啊，即係2、3杯咁上下啦。咁飲完之後咧，佢係好好瞓。但係血糖一度嘅時候咧 ，guess what 係幾高啊？哇！原來係200即係去到14、15、16嘅。咁我成晚都14、15、16啊。咁我話你咁樣做法咧，我你5、6年之後咧，你個心臟又唔會好，樣都唔會好噶啦。咁我話你唔可以繼續係整到你血糖成晚咁高喎，係咪？咁所以咧，佢就唔飲咧之後咧，佢嘅血糖咧去翻7啊6個中間。咁呢個係好好喎。其實一唔飲已經係變咗咁噶啦，所以呢個咧係好重要嘅。飲酒亦都係會同你食藥咧係有即係血糖嘅藥咧係有衝撞嘅，所以你唔可以又飲酒又食藥唔得嘅。同埋咧，仲有咧，尤其是酒咧，好多時咧酒唔係紅酒啦，其他烈酒咧，亦都會整加你血糖高嘅。咁其實唔飲酒可以飲咩啊？飲血糖茶，或者就雪凍佢飲血糖茶好過飲酒 ，OK？ 咁啊幫助咧降低血糖。So important, really we have to cut down your alcohol intake. If you stop drinking alcohol, definitely will help you improve your blood sugar and decrease the chance of heart attack. And yes, a lot of people say, hey, I thought that drink wine is good, will it better your heart. But not really true if you are diabetic, because especially if you are drinking and increase your blood sugar, that is not really good for you, actually. Okay, now we talked about triglyceride last week, right? And that was so important. Now, what cholesterol? There are 2 cholesterol, as you know. One is called the LDL cholesterol, which is good cholesterol for you. But the problem you have is that HDL is a good cholesterol for you. I'm sorry to say it wrong. So important, you have to have higher HDL cholesterol. The LDL cholesterol is the bad cholesterol for you. And you don't want to have more bad cholesterol. And how do you get more bad cholesterol? Because basically you eat a lot of hamburger, a lot of hot dog, a lot of sweet, all the cakes, all those have LDL cholesterol forming for you, which result you forming all the plaque in your arteries, as plaque of all the arteries. That result, your artery become hardened, will restrict your blood flow, you lead yourself to hypertension, and then you eventually got heart attack and stroke. Wow, isn't that bad? So you really need to basically lower your LDL. Now, your cholesterol goes up, doctor will give you medication to lower your cholesterol. Usually focus to lower your LDL cholesterol. Certainly, you drink Lowsutea will also lower your LDL cholesterol. So all that will be important to control your LDL cholesterol. Okay? 嗱，各位同學，其實咧，我哋一個人咧每個人都有兩種 cholesterol 嘅。第一個 cholesterol 咧就叫 HDL cholesterol， 好 cholesterol。唔好 cholesterol 咧就叫 LDL cholesterol， 呢個就唔好嘅。LDL cholesterol 係放咩啊 plaque 啊，嗰啲血管塊喺個血管裏邊，咁令到成身都係咧。嗰陣時越整越多你就弊啦，因為嗰陣咧就你個血管就硬化啦，會啲血管血液循環好啦，又塞住你心臟啦，會喺度踢啦。同埋咧會高血壓啦，呢啲嘢全部咧都係唔好嘅東西嚟嘅，仲有中風啦，呢個係一個好大問題，所以你咧係真係要咧就要唔好即係繼續咧係食好多呢啲咁嘅餅食hamburger 啊或者 hot dog 啊，令到你 LDL cholesterol 高啊。如果你真係 LDL cholesterol 高咧，你一定要食藥嘅嚇，咁醫生咧就會俾藥你食啦。同埋咧飲去糖茶亦都會降低你 LDL cholesterol 嘅。So really control your high cholesterol is actually a very important step to help you become much more healthier, prevent you from heart disease, okay? So the ninth step, more important, is really you have to control your diabetes, okay? Now, I think all the people who listen today, majority of them are pre-diabetic or diabetic or pre-diabetic or diabetes already. Imagine in the world, there are 438 million people who are pre-diabetic, who are diabetes. And 1.5 billion people are pre-diabetic. Imagine that 438 million are already diabetes. And then 1.5 million are pre-diabetic. And typically, and we already saw it everywhere, United States, Philippines, Malaysia, anywhere, is about 30% of the population are pre-diabetic by diabetic group. In other words, we start off with 30%. In every 10 people, 3 people actually are pre-diabetic diabetes. So that's a huge number of people. And these people will always show up in what first? They show up with first high blood sugar and then high blood cholesterol, usually high LDL. And the same thing will happen is then they form plaque on the entire body vessel, which I've talked about. Eventually, high blood pressure, that's the second stage. And if they don't do anything, the third stage come along, they become a pre-diabetic with A1C from 5.7 to 6.4 is all the same over the world. If they don't do anything, you know what? They eventually become diabetes. The sad part is if you don't control yourself, 65% of the diabetic patients are dying heart disease and stroke. Sorry, today I have a excuse me, today I have a high allergy. So that's why I have a sneezing. And so it's really sad, 65% of the people of diabetes die of either heart attack and stroke. So you can see how important you have to control your diabetes to prevent that two major deaths, which is stroke and heart disease. So to manage that, it's very simple. If you lower your blood sugar, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, losing the weight, including changing your different lifestyle, which we just talked about earlier, with dieting, exercise, and watching all those things, lower your cholesterol, lower the LDL, lower your sugar intake, you basically are able to achieve a much better health. Now, very important, naturally, you have to drink Lowsutea, because just to diet might not able to do it. It's proven over again. I have a lot of friends just say, hey, I've been trying to do diet, but my blood sugar is still high up there. Well, there's a reason, because there may be a very highly resistant already. So insulin resistant. So even more insulin come out, they don't take the sugar into the cells. There's not enough insulin. So when you take Lowsutea, it's like insulin booster, take the sugar into the cells because of bitter melon. Plus, bitter melon dumping the sugar into the urine, and also dump sugar of the cholesterol in the urine, and also the salt. So that result, you detox and keep your whole body much more healthier. So keep that in mind, very important. You really have to control your diabetes. That will be a very important thing you have to do. 嗱，各位糖友，控制血糖，你個糖尿病係好重要嘅，前期患病同後期糖尿病者都係一樣咁重要。因為世界上有434億300萬人已經係糖尿患病者，1.5個 billion 嘅人咧係已經係前期患病者，全世界都係差唔多30% 嘅人咧係已經有糖尿患病者或者前患者一齊喺晒度。哇！所以其實咧好重要咧，一定係要繼續去降低血糖啦，降低你膽固醇啦，降低血壓啦。當你做呢3高降低嘅話咧，你心臟病會少好多嘅。咁同埋咧，原來全世界咧，呢個係真係世界指數嚟嘅，65% 嘅人如果有糖尿病，死於係心臟病同埋中風咧，喺65% 裏邊。哇，其實好重要喎。所以咁嚟講咧，真係咧要記住，好簡單，控制糖尿就係降低血糖啦，降低你血壓啦，降低你膽固醇啦。降低個磅數啦，同埋咧要降低你整體嘅生活習慣啦，食你嘅 diet 啦 ，low carb diet 啦，同埋食你嘅即係 exercise 去咗 exercise 啦，同埋繼續降低磅數啦，磅數 exercise 都要啦。咁同埋咧有一個好重要嘅飲去糖茶，因為飲咗去糖茶之後咧，好多人咧原來咧佢個已經嗰個糖尿病嗰個胰島素抗拒好高啦。咁如果你飲咗去糖茶之後咧，佢真係能夠將嗰血糖咧加咗，因為有苦瓜裏邊咧打啲胰島素入個細胞裏邊，同埋仲有咧佢可能夠仲有一樣做得好咧，就係將啲糖同埋個膽固醇同埋啲鹽咧喺個尿啊掉咗出嚟，咁你個血壓又降低，你又會血腫，所以令個身體更加健康。So very important, just keep doing that will help you to control your diabetes. Now, give you some real good guideline. What is the important vital sign? If you can able to maintain your A1C under 6.5%, okay, important has to be under 6.5%, because a lot of people thought that, oh, I could be under 7 would be good. The new sign is 7 is not good. You have to under 6.5 and lower, even at 6 even better, or 5.7 better. So don't keep it just under 7%. It's below 6.5%. Gotta keep that in mind. Secondly, your blood pressure has to be under 130/80. You can even take a picture of this. Make sure you take a picture of this. And your LDL cholesterol has to be under 100 milligram per deciliter, or 2.6 millimole per liter. So that way you can lower all your lipid, make sure that your medication, maybe perhaps you don't even need to take the blood, low cholesterol medication. So very important, this is the number you have to be lower, okay? And so that result, you don't have the high LDL cholesterol, okay? And so you have to keep up your medication, your so-called diabetic medication. And very important, hopefully you can drink Lowsutea, help you lower blood sugar and LDL and detox. Because with that, you can keep yourself healthy. 嗱，各位朋友，我特別俾呢張相俾你咧，影一張相，唔該。咁你可以知道咧 ，A1C 一定要跌6.5% 以下。第二樣咧，你個 blood pressure 咧要降低個130/88，80要 lower 個80或者80以內啦，唔好過90啦，一定要做呢個 number。你嘅 LDL cholesterol 要係喺2.6 millimole per liter 以下 ，OK？ 咁同埋咧，你要 keep up 你嘅 diabetic medication 啦，同埋咧飲血糖茶啦，咁就會降低血糖嘅 LDL。嗱，依張相係重要，因為俾呢個 parameter 你咧，可以繼續知道咧，如果去醫生睇，我係要我睇乜嘢咧，血壓係乜嘢啦，我膽固醇係乜嘢啦，我血糖睇個 A1C 係乜嘢啦，依個就係俾一個 guideline 俾你。所以繼續咧係每次問醫生，我 A1C 係乜嘢醫生？我個血壓咩啊？嗱，血壓多數睇到啦。咁同埋好似喺度血嘅時候，佢都度cholesterol 咧，你要睇下係咪我2.6 millimole per liter 啦，或者喺美國咧就100 milligram per deciliter。So this is a good guidance for you. Whenever you go to a doctor, you ask what is the data to help you give you some indication where are you at. Okay, so take this picture. Okay. So in summary. As you know, the heart is the most important organ for you. You have to really control diabetes. If you're diabetic, pre-diabetic, it's all the same. You have to protect your heart, okay? Your heart disease is really the most leading cause for men and women who die if they're diabetes. The heart disease is the one of the highest death. You have to have the good lifestyle change to actually able to lower all the blood pressure, lower cholesterol, lower sugar to maintain good health so you decrease the risk of heart disease. So we have 9 steps to help you to prevent this disease. 1, you have to exercise, keep moving. Don't have to be actually do physical, real big exercise, but you can just walk, you can do yard work, you can do just walking with a friend to the shopping mall, walking with a dog. Those are all walking. Do at least 30 minutes a day, okay? You have to decrease stress because stress your heart. You will get more stress, then you will get more chance of heart attack. You have to maintain good health. Don't get over obese because obese, get your heart, you're overweight. Your heart will pump more to move you every time. So you'll be really have to decrease your BMI to 25 to lower so you don't have to overstress your heart. You have to stop smoking. Smoking will stress your heart, stress your lung. No good. You have to maintain good blood pressure. Your blood pressure, systolic cannot be over 180, has to be below 8, diastolic become 8, lower than 80, no more than 90, it has to be 80 something or lower. You have the healthy diet, make sure the Mexican Mediterranean diet, eat more fish, more omega-3. You have to limit your alcohol intake, so don't take all the red wine, increase your sugar, it's no good. You have to lower your cholesterol. High cholesterol is what? It's going to form plaque your vessel, it's going to damage your heart. Last but not least, you have to control diabetes. By control diabetes, you have to drink Lowsutea to help you to lower your blood sugar, lower your LDL. So that will be the secret to give you better health. Protect your heart, please, because I want to see you to long life, long living. That will be your heart to make sure you get that. 嗱，各位朋友，最後好重要咧，就係個心咧係最重要嘅，全一世人咧，你個心係最重要嘅。如果你心壞咗就唔 work 噶啦。咁你其實咧，男人同女人都一樣嘅。如果你個心係仲令到你係壞咗咧， 就大多數60幾個% 嘅人咧都係死於心臟病嘅。所以咧，如果你係當你轉咗你個 lifestyle 嗰啲東西咧，你個心臟病咧就會係機會係降低好多嘅。咁啊點去做啊？9樣嘢，第一繼續運動啦，食完飯行啦，行30分鐘啦，要降低你工作壓力啊，任何壓力啦，降低壓力就 exercise 好嘢啦，同埋去做瑜伽嗰啲東西啦。要食好嘅要降低個磅數啦，唔好太肥胖啦，因為肥胖係降低你個重磅咧好大問題嘅。戒煙啦，同埋你血壓一定要降低係由130至180啦，唔好多過高啲啦。同埋咧仲要咧係要食嘅食物咧要健康啦，唔好食嗰啲肥嘅食物啦，食多啲魚啦，食多啲菜蔬啦，唔好飲酒啦。同埋咧仲有咧就係能夠唔好令到膽固醇高啦。點令到膽固醇高咧就係飲血糖茶啦。如果你真係高要食藥啦，同埋最後咧 control 你嘅血糖，同埋要降低你嘅風險就係唔好食嘅甜嘢，即係令到個血糖降低啦。要降低 cholesterol 啦，降低血壓即係3高。咁其實咧你呢個 control diabetes 咧，你多數你健康一定會好嘅。A1C 降低到6以下啦，6% 以下就會 very good。繼續飲去糖茶，幫助你降低血糖同埋你個膽固醇。So today, this is my webinar on how to protect your heart. Are there any questions from the group? And I appreciate, on your busy weekend to listen. And that would be really, really good. So in case you have any question, drop me an email. You want andy@wafong.com. It's okay. Drop me an email. I'd love to answer an email. And really protect your heart. Keep yourself healthy is the most important thing. So if you have any question, drop me an email, andy@wafong, WAHFONG, ANDY@WAHFONG. A lot of people do actually drop email. I help to answer them. Some even have questions for the healthcare issue, and I can actually get a doctor to answer you also. So if there are no questions, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And I hope that you're going to have a wonderful weekend. See you next week. You take care, guys. Bye-bye. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Mason. Thank you for your greeting. And thank you for, yes, we hope that we'll have a great weekend. Thanks, Mason. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.